Welcome to this video on mastering the endgame, understanding passed pawns. Now, this is a summary of Daniel Naroditsky's video on YouTube. As you'll notice, is 54 minutes long. So if you've seen it like I have, it's a lot of concepts, a lot of information. I had to watch it like 2 or 3 times to really understand it. And basically the idea or the purpose of this video is just to go through the main ideas, the main jargon, like the words that he uses, get them into our head, and then at the end we'll do some puzzles and try and implement these ideas. So let's get started with what is a passed pawn. And in this example, our D pawn is the passed pawn because there are no pawns in front of it blocking our way and no pawns to the side that can take us. So for example, E and C are not passed pawns because if we push them, even though there's nothing stopping us, they can take us. So that is not a passed pawn. And to win this, it is just going to be a very easy push. And we're going to promote to a queen. Now, in the next example, we're going to look at how do you create a passed pawn. Now, it's the same D pawn that we had before, but now it's blocked by a pawn. And we are going to use the king capture method to bring the king and capture that pawn. And once we can escort the pawn up the board and promote, and we are going to be winning. Now, instead of capturing with the king, what we can do is the pawn advance method, and basically we're going to be using what's known as pushing the prospective passer. In this case, the C pawn, there's nothing in front of it, so that is our prospective passer. We're going to push, and because we have that backup, takes, and we're going to be promoting. Now, an example of this, instead of in this example pushing with our prospective passer, we rather push with the D pawn. We are now going to be entering what's known as the deep freeze, and basically this minority pawn over here, just the single pawn, is stopping 2 of our pawns, because if we push, let's say for example like this, he's going to take, he's going to be closer to promoting than we are. So this is known as the deep freeze. So let's look at an example here. This is just illustrating the fact that the king can't get this pawn, so we're forced to push, and after takes we are going to be under promoting to a knight, just illustrating that we don't always promote to a queen, but the idea is obviously to get that passed pawn to the final rank. Now we're going to be looking not at pawn breakthroughs, that's a separate video, as Daniel says. We're now going to look at the classification of the different types of passed pawns, and we're going to start with the outside passed pawn. Basically the idea here is that we've got 2 pawns very far apart, and we are actually going to use this pawn as a diversion, and we are not going to worry about him. And what we want to do is, not that move. What we want to do, because if we do, this is a mistake, because now that we come to get this pawn, we're going to have a problem in that we won't be able to promote this, because usually an outside passed pawn is on the edge like this. So instead what we do is we just want to make sure that obviously if he goes down, we're just going to push this. We want to let him waste his time hanging about, stopping this pawn, and now we are going to then get that pawn, and we are going to have a promotion because he is not close enough, and we're going to be protecting him. So the next one we're going to look at is the protected passed pawn, and that is where the pawn is protecting and the king is not needed. The king can just go and get that pawn, and there's no issues there really, because the king will, for example, have to go. If he takes this, we're going to push, and there's no way for him to stop us. And in the next example, we have a connected passed pawn. So they are connected, they are passed, and the idea here is really that they create this barrier that the king can't go past, and this will give us a little bit of barrier to get our king across and grab that pawn. Second to last, the gap tooth passed pawn. That's going to look like this, where we have 2 pawns but with a gap in the middle. And the idea here is that when we push and he tries to get us, we are now going to push and we're going to be gone. There's no way for him to stop us. So instead, he's going to try and hang back to try and monitor this pawn. And then what we can do is bring our king in, and when he goes back to the middle, we now have the same situation, but we're up the board, and we can just repeat that, and we're going to be promoting one of them. And then finally, the pants or trousers pass pawn, and basically it's sort of the similar idea to the outside pass pawn and the gap tooth pawn, but the distance between the two is much greater. There's no way he can stop both of the pawns, and whichever one he goes for, we will then be pushing the other one, and we will be promoting because it's just too far for him. So those are the ideas, and now we're going to spend a bit of time doing some puzzles. I've never seen these puzzles before. Let's try and solve them together, find the best move for white. So we can push. We're fortunately freezing this pawn, so he can't push. And because we're quite close to promoting, I think we'll be fine. He's going back to stop us. So if we go here, he's going to go there. So we need to decide either this move or this move. This move would be to try and protect him. So if we go here and he goes there, we go here, he goes there, and we get here, so we're protecting this, I think, is this move. Yeah, and we're going to be pushing. Find the best move for white. Right, what do we have? We don't have any pass pawns. So how are we going to be creating a pass pawn? So, wow, this one's a tough one. So we've got... These are our possible moves. I guess we want to go and start taking these guys. But if we do that, he's going to take us. And he's going to move out the way. He's going to then push. That doesn't look great for us. Doesn't look great. But I don't see any other options really. Maybe it's some sort of Suk's one. So here, if he pushes, we take. And then it's frozen. Yeah, we need to get to a situation where we can isolate this pawn. So what about push takes... That doesn't sound great. Here. That doesn't sound great either. So I think we actually need to play a waiting move. Yeah, we need to play a waiting move. Now we can grab this. We want him to move these guys. So I think we grab this now. Yeah, we're going to be promoting this pawn. That was a bit of a strange one. Find the best move for white. So we've almost got a pass pawn here. Well, actually, technically, this would be a pass pawn if the king wasn't there. We could push it. If we take this, he takes. So where are we creating a pass pawn? I mean, this is the threat, isn't it? That is a straight up threat. And he has connected pawns, so he's stopping us from advancing. So I can't see anything other than pushing this, taking this. And now we probably play a waiting move, or we go here. We go here. What does he do? We go here, he goes back, and then we... I like this move. Yeah, because now we can go here, and we're going to be winning this and promoting this pawn. Alright, a few more, and then we'll finish. Find the best move for white. Ooh, I mean, that has to be the move, right? Because we want to promote our pass pawn here, and we need to defend that. I mean, if we try and stop his pawn, he's just going to go for ours. So I think here, push, check, he has to deal with that, and then we promote. Yeah. Right, last one. Find the best move for white. Okay, so we have a pass pawn, a protected pass pawn. We could push and get another pass pawn. This is not going anywhere. This is a pass pawn for them. And they could push and get a what's it called, a pawn advance method on this side. So what are we going to do? We can go here and take this. We can check, but then he can take either pawn. So we either need to go here to prepare this move. Takes. King has to go back. I feel like this is the move. But I don't see anything wrong with this. What do I... Maybe that just gives him time to push and takes... He's just going there. Yeah, we need to go for him. We need to go for him. And now we have connected passed pawns. And he's forced back. We'll probably have to bring the king in. Yeah, let's see what we would do. We would probably... Just getting the engine. I think this is probably the move. Yeah. Yeah, we need to push, and it doesn't really matter too much what we do here. Check him, and then yeah, now we're going to be promoting. Right, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Try to keep it short. Please, if you haven't seen Daniel's original video, go see that. He goes through it much slower, much more in depth. But now hopefully you got the vocabulary to go into that video, and you'll know exactly what he's talking about and actually get the meat of the positions and the puzzles that he does. So thank you for watching, and until next time, good luck with the chess.